Hey! Hey, man. How you doing, Sean? I'm all right. How you doing?
Good. Who's living down there now?
This guy right here.
Oh, nice.
I got a visitor for a month. Try to get some work done.
This is looking good. It's nice and clean down there, huh?
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of work down there.
This is storage for the winter. Getting it all. I got all groups of gear and stuff that are all getting packed in there. This is getting cleaned up.
Yeah.
And I'm hopefully moving to Maine for the winter.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I'm hoping to. Anyway, we'll see what happens.
If you-
Mickey Mouse?
If you do, let us know so we can keep an eye on your property as we're going by.
Sweet, thanks.
So
Appreciate that.
that way, if we see someone, we know they're not supposed to be there.
There's a metal shed right there. It's small, but it's gonna fit like my expensive shit.
Yeah.
And that'll be locked.
Hi, Arrow.
Should be all right. I got a few other people I'm gonna have check on it too,
Yeah.
so that's good to know.
Yeah.
So what's your deal today? What's going on?
You're gonna laugh.
Yeah, of course I am. I always do.
I know. The white post down there, the realtor sign.
Yeah, somebody stuck it in the side of the road there, along with some other litter and stuff. So I moved it back in and I took it apart and I said, well, it doesn't belong here, so.
All right. Well, do you know who it belongs to?
No idea.
I saw when I was coming up because I've seen this sign. I've seen the sign there.
Mhm.
I assumed that your property is going to be for sale.
No, not
you
at
know?
all.
So that's why I didn't say anything before. And someone else said, you know, is this property for sale?
Right, of course they're
So-
going to try to pull that.
Right.
Of course they are.
So I talked to, when I've seen it in the past, it said Anthony Drapo
Mhm.
on it. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
And then it was a Coldwell Banker,
Yep,
Realtor.
yep.
He has a property at the bottom of
Oh.
Sugar Run.
I have all the pieces. I have the sign, and I can put it back together if they'd like to move it.
Okay.
If they're worried about that.
I
From
called
hence-
Coldwell Banker. I talked to them. I called the number on the sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we have it in the area, but not the exact vicinity. I was like, yeah, it just showed up on the side of the road. You know, it's
Of
up
course I
here
took
on
it.
Spring
My
Hill.
property's not for sale.
Or,
I'm not going
whatever
to
the
false
hell it is.
advertise.
Yeah.
Because there's real estate laws about that, and that's what I thought their game was
Well,
from
the-
obvious experience that I've had.
Yeah. Well, the problem is there's also a statute, whether I go ahead with it or not, it's not going to be up to me, but the statute called theft of mislaid property,
Okay.
which means that,
They put it in the wrong place, and I took it.
well, it means that if you knew it wasn't yours, then you can't keep it.
Okay.
That's what that is.
Well, that's fine. I don't want to keep it.
Right.
I didn't know how to get rid of it. I have to pay to get rid of it.
What do you mean?
Well, it's money. It's metal, so it has to go in the metal pile at the dump. You have to pay money.
Yeah.
I don't have that money, so I reused it. I took the sign off of it and unscrewed the things. Took the sign off of it and said, well, heck, I'll just use it for mail. If somebody wants to leave me a note or hang my
Yeah.
flag on it, you know.
Well, but that's an illegal. That's the illegal part.
Really?
I mean, because you can't. The statute is it's called theft of mislaid property.
Okay.
Which, let's say I.
Do they want their sign back?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take it.
Okay, cool. Cool, perfect.
yeah.
I can get you all the little pieces and stuff.
Yeah, I
if
know
you
where they're all out down the hill.
You know where they are.
I saw
Yeah.
the sign when I was down there. I
Yeah.
saw the Caldwell Banker. Because it would be like me dropping
Your gun.
my gun. Well, it would be different with a gun. It'd be a little bit different. But it'd be like, me dropping a knife.
Yeah.
And you knew it wasn't yours.
Yeah.
And rather than turning it in, you just used it.
Yeah. I
So-
actually, from the attacks that I've had in this neighborhood, I assumed that somebody was playing a dirty trick.
Okay.
I assumed that.
By what? Like,
If you put if you post a for sale sign on your property,
yeah.
and somebody comes and inquires about it, you're required to sell it.
Give them an offer. Like if someone,
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
you,
you
you,
have to
you
have a
can
price.
change your mind and be like, oh, it's not for sale anymore.
I don't think you can do that. That's the problem.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure about the real
Yeah.
estate stuff.
Yeah, well, these people all know it.
Yeah.
These people are all real estate
Yeah.
moguls. And so I
Well-
thought somebody was playing a game with me.
Yeah.
Especially after everybody's taking pictures. They made me get rid of my camper, everything that's happened.
Right.
I mean, we had a car in the ditch. We had a rope across the road.
Well, yeah, I came up and helped you out.
Yeah, and I mean,
I
Andy
helped
White
pull it
didn't
out.
even say anything. He just drove by.
Yeah.
He didn't say, hey, you guys all right? Nothing like that. Instead,
Yeah.
he calls you guys and says, well, he's got a cable across the road or something.
Yeah.
It makes it seem like some big deal.
Right.
I got people coming up, hanging out with me, and then you guys get called on my birthday of all times. Right down here, they have a party every year at the 24th, and there's cars parked all over the place.
Yep.
And nobody ever complains. And all of a sudden, I have one car here parked on the side of the road, and somebody complains, and you're called. And I could just consider this all the time harassment from these people.
Right, but also you understand that.
They're
I-
staying within their little guidelines, but I mean, it's just.
Well, no. But what I'm saying is, no one. When we get the call, regardless of what the call is, we come and investigate. There's no crime that occurred, so no one got in trouble.
Right.
So the issue that I have right now is we have the real estate sign down there, and you knew it wasn't yours. You're telling me it wasn't yours, and so I have to figure out whether you're gonna be arrested for that.
Okay. Well, the other thing was the concrete blocks.
Yep.
How does that guy have the right to just put those in the road?
He doesn't, and they've been moved.
Yeah, I know.
Because-
we moved them.
Right. And I think I moved them as well when I
yeah,
was here.
and I mean, why wasn't a response given to that? Like, why didn't somebody get arrested for that?
For what? For
Putting debris in the road.
because it was, how that works is there's a right of way from the town, and it's 25 feet to each side from the middle. And that was still, even though it's on the right of way, that's still on private property. So it would be like if I went 25 feet from the center line onto your property, you're going to still have some private property within the right of way.
Okay.
You know
but
what
they
I mean?
can bury a pipe and have
Right.
a car park.
Sure,
right?
like
Yeah.
town stuff.
Right.
Right.
So we wouldn't arrest you if you wanted to keep people off your property. We wouldn't arrest you for putting some barricade up. We would just say, hey, you have this within the right of way.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to move it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that was dealt with. I mean, the good thing about you is you don't give
I
a
don't.
shit.
I don't call people. I don't
Right.
call the police on every
Right.
little detail.
Right.
I don't need to activate that. I don't want to waste money. It's stupid.
Right.
It's like all they're doing is trying to stay within their bounds and try to bring attention to me, whereas
Right.
I just want to be left alone.
Right. No, I know that. I absolutely know that, and that's why, when we dealt with everything about that concrete, completely separate. You
Good.
just don't know about that
Good.
because you never asked about it.
No, I didn't.
So
ask
yeah,
about
we
it.
went. Just so you know, for that, we went back and forth through emails and phone calls with the owner of that property, and with Andy. And
Sorry you had to deal with that. That's kind of funny though.
well, and we said, you can't have a no parking sign where it's legal for people to park.
That's right.
I said, you
Did
can't
you
do
notice
that.
on the tax map it actually marks that little particular spot for Cohen Pond Trail parking?
I
It's
haven't
actually
noticed that.
public. It's considered public parking.
Right, which is why. Well, and we knew because it's right away.
Yeah.
They can't do anything. And even if you have a set of tires in the road, let's say you're parked in the road a little bit.
Yeah.
I can only write you a ticket for that, or
Okay.
anyone a ticket, if it's actually a road hazard.
Okay.
So even if you're parked in the road, someone might call and say, "Hey, he's fucking parked in the road."
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look at it.
Well, what
and if I
about
think it's a hazard, then
the
yeah, I'll
other
have you
night on
move
my
it.
birthday,
Yeah.
somebody was ready to get towed. I didn't see how they were
It was
parked.
the truck. the
It was
pickup truck.
Josh.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Josh was in the
and-
middle of the
and-
road.
Yeah, and that was
course.
me. I was the cop that came up for
Yeah,
that. And
yeah.
and I told them, look, it's too far on the road. It's the hazard.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that.
You're right. It
So-
was like halfway. It was,
Right.
you know, it could have been a little bit.
We
Right,
gotta
so-
we gotta figure something out with that so
We'll
people can
improve
come
that.
visit
Right.
us.
So, but rather than having me write you guys or tow it,
Right.
I just said, hey, fucking move it.
Move it.
And
Yeah.
which is all I care about.
Yeah. All right.
Um,
So what is your concern now? Do you want that sign back? Do you want it put
Well,
back together?
well,
or-
the sign is coming back. I
Okay.
also have a search warrant for the sign in
Okay.
case you weren't here.
yeah.
That way I could have come on and it was granted and all that, and I have
Great.
a copy of that.
Cool.
But the issue is the guy hasn't been able to advertise now for quite a while because that sign hasn't been here, and you knew it wasn't supposed to be here.
Yep.
So what I'm actually debating in my head right now is whether to arrest you now and we go get it out of the way right now, or getting an arrest warrant. But because you're in the possession of it right now, you admitted to it, I can arrest you right now.
Yeah.
I'll actually kind of leave it up to you.
I'd like to just figure out how you can get the sign back and call them and say, hey, please don't
Let
put
me
things on my property.
Here's what I'll do. I will.
There's no trespassing signs posted there. So
Right.
he actually trespassed to put that sign there.
Well, not the guy who owns the sign. I guarantee you, it was not the guy that owns the sign that put the sign there.
Yeah. That's a mystery. No one's
So
gonna know.
okay,
The-
and
the-
that's what we should really figure
So
out.
I don't know who put the sign there, and that'll be another thing that I will look at. So I need to find the statute for that
Mm.
personally because I haven't seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you, Anthony Drapo, the guy on the sign, did not put the sign there.
Okay.
Because why would he put the sign there when his property's not
Well, I'd like to
advertised
figure
right
out
now?
who he gave the sign to
Well,
put it there.
No, I think someone might have taken it off of his property
Oh,
and
really?
then brought it up here.
They,
If you
they
guys,
That
said
would
there was
make-
no
that would
stolen
make-
signs reported. There was, when I talked to Colwell, they said there's no, all the signs appear to be in place,
Yep.
and there's a property in the area off of Upper Mad River we have,
Yep.
but we don't have any issue with it. I says,
But
okay,
if they-
here's
so
my
there you
number.
go.
Call
Somebody's
me if you
planting
need
stuff.
You know, we know where it is.
but,
Call me.
But from my side, that could have been. Let's say you call on a Monday,
Yeah.
and no one's been up there since the previous Friday. They wouldn't have had anything reported stolen because we don't monitor what signs are on the market.
Yeah,
or off the
right.
market,
Nobody's
'cause-
going to monitor a stupid real estate sign.
So I
mean, it's like,
got the call because I was actually wondering, like I said, if your property was for sale.
right.
then
You
someone
were
else-
too.
Definitely.
Actually, you actually.
And then
I know.
someone-
I at first I was like, wait a minute, why is this for sale sign
Yeah.
here? Fact of the matter is, somebody put it there, and I feel like it was a vicious thing.
Yeah.
I do think it's a
So
malicious thing.
and I will try to find the statute on that. Do you know the RSA off the top of your head?
God no.
Right.
God no.
So let me take a look at that myself. All
right.
What I'm going to do is I'll call Anthony Drapo,
Okay.
see if he wants charges to be pressed for that.
Okay.
And he might very well want charges because it's been off the market. His house hasn't been advertised now for.
Okay.
It's actually been.
So then the culprit
couple
will be
weeks.
whoever put the sign there.
Well, it is still you, but it's also them. So you knew.
Damn right.
You
it's
knew.
not me. I just took it off of the curb, where it was stuck next to my bridge.
Yep.
And I actually took video footage the day of.
Do you have that with you?
It's on YouTube.
Can I see that? Because
Yeah.
here's why I'm saying that.
Absolutely.
Because if you're taking it out of the road as, let's say, a road
It
hazard.
actually was. Yeah.
You were there.
Yeah. I witnessed
And
it.
I videotaped the holes that it was
Yeah.
stuck in, and videotaped
Can you
the sign.
give me access to your YouTube?
It's all in private. I can unlock it
Yeah,
and then send you the link.
I
And
need
I
you-
have your email, I believe. It's
Smarz@thorntonnhpd.org.
yeah, and I can definitely send you that.
So-
we could probably do
we
that.
have internet here.
The problem
you
is we
really?
have no battery. Our batteries are all dead. But as soon as we get it charged, let's remind me,
And
and we'll
because
do that.
I can get, I can tell him, hey, your sign was in the road. They took it out so no cars would hit it
Yep.
or whatever. The
And you'll
case
see.
is.
and it's not hidden, right? I mean,
Do you
saw it
remember where the
clearly.
Oh
holes
no,
were?
I
Matt?
can see it there, right
You
there.
remember where the holes were, right?
Yeah.
Can you show him possibly on the
Yeah.
way down?
Yeah.
When can you get me that YouTube video unlocked? I need it this weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can do that.
Because I
Can
have
we
to
do
be
that?
able on Monday to
We'll
tell
do
my
it today.
chief. This
We'll do
is
it
why I
today.
didn't arrest him on the spot
Yeah.
because I could arrest you right now.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Definitely.
So yeah, if you can walk down and show me where that stuff is,
That'd be great.
and then
Yep. You got a card with your email on it?
yeah,
Yeah, I think I
that'd be
lost
the
the
best.
other one.
Best
I
bet.
have to write it. This is a generic card, so I'll write it on the back.
Cool. Well, it's too bad that you guys get like called in on this stupid crap all the time. It's really just a damn shame.
I left my number with Coldwell Banker. I says, if you want the sign, you want to know where it is. I
Oh,
told
you
him.
did?
Yes, just call me.
Well, when we get down there too, I'm gonna have you write a statement for that too, if you don't mind.
Okay.
That way,
Yeah.
I can say, look, there was no,
No,
malicious intent
There's no
right here.
criminal intent
Right.
at all.
So, all right, yeah, sweet.
I think it's the other way around. Somebody's attacking me,
Yep.
and I have very good reason to believe that.
So
you know.
I'll try to find that statute. I'll talk to him, but just there's no name or anything on that.
Okay.
I just wrote my name on the back there.
Okay.
All right.
At ThorntonPD.
At ThorntonNHPD.org.
NHPD.org. All right, we'll get that to you today, Sean. Thank you.
Andy.
Why is it that I would ever put a for sale sign on my own property? So what, I stole the guy's sign and stuck it in the ground? Why? Doesn't make any sense.